Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानो सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class. We are discussing from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and last time we discussed how there was a marriage between Aniruddha and Usha, and as a result of that, a huge fight started between Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu, and ultimately Lord Shiva, he surrendered, his weapon surrendered, and Lord Shiva started yawning and he offered his prayers. And then after that, Banasur also surrendered because Lord Shiva, he prayed on behalf of Banasur. And then Aniruddha and Usha, they came back. They came to Dwarka. So after this, now Shukdev Goswami is continuing the story. So the 64th chapter is entitled The Deliverance of King Nriga. This is a very, very interesting chapter, and it has very, very profound, essential lessons. So Shukdev Goswami says that he's telling to Parikshit Maharaj, O king, that one day all the young boys of Yadu dynasty, Samba, Pradyumna, Bhanu, Charu, Gada, and all the other boys, they went to a small forest to play. And Chakravarti Thakur, he writes that because Pradyumna and all these are young, so this pastime must have happened before the birth of Aniruddha. So Shukdev Goswami is not going into a chronology. Whatever comes in his mind, he is speaking those pastimes. So the scriptures, many times, they're not concerned with chronological relation of the events. They are concerned with the lessons which we can learn from those historical pastimes, which is very much, which is not there in the current historical accounts. Current historical accounts are just informations of the past, and they are written down. But all the scriptures, they are not just concerned with the historical narrations, they are concerned with what we can learn from those pastimes. So Sridhar Swami, he describes that the story of King Riga, which is narrated in this chapter, it is meant to give us very, very sober information and instruction, and especially to all those people who are in the leadership position, who are proud of their position, the proud kings of the past. So this pastime of King Riga shows a very, very profound lesson. And because now just in the last chapter, the defeat of Lord Shiva and Banasur was described, because Banasur was so very proud. And now Shukdev Goswami is narrating a related incident in terms of the mood. So Krishna wants to tell that if anybody is proud of the wealth, and if he neglects a devotee or a brahmana, even if unknowingly he does that, he will have to bear the consequences. So what to speak of, consciously meditating on doing some harm. So in the end of this chapter, Lord Krishna will tell the consequences of, not dealing with a brahmana properly or stealing the property of a brahmana. And we will see that if brahmanas are so very important for Krishna, what to speak of the devotees of the Lord? So we'll discuss all that. So Shukdev Goswami is addressing Parikshit Maharaj in astonishment, in amazement. Just see the small sin of King Drigas, just a small mistake he did. That was also unknowingly. Unknowingly he committed a mistake, and he had to bear such a severe consequence. That is the, very, very serious lesson which we are being told here by Shukdev Goswami. So Shukdev Goswami, he continues that all these boys, they were feeling so very thirsty, and because they were playing in the forest for a long time, they felt thirsty, and then they were, roaming around. They went to a well, and in the well, as they looked down, they saw a very, very peculiar creature, not character, peculiar creature. This creature was looking like a lizard, but it was like a mountain, very huge lizard. That means the well was also very wide and very huge well. So the boys were astonished to see this creature in the well, and they felt pity, and they tried to lift it out. They caught that lizard with the leather ropes, and then some other things also. They tried their best, but they could not lift. They could not take that lizard out of the well. So then they, came back to the palace, and they told everything to Lord Krishna. So Supreme Lord, feeling compassion and pity on that creature, he went to that place, and with his left hand, as you can see in this picture, with his left hand, he just took that lizard out of the well. So as soon as this lizard was touched by the Supreme Lord, immediately he was transformed into a heavenly resident, wearing a very, nice ornaments and jewelry and garments, beautiful golden complexion. All the, other members, they were astonished. So Krishna, although he knew everything, he is a Supreme Lord, he is omniscient, but still he inquired, "Oh, who are you? Seeing your excellent form, I can see that you are some devata, some exalted devata. Who are you? Please tell me." And then he asked, "By what past activity you attained such a position? How did you become a lizard? What brought you to this destiny? Please tell me. We are eager to know. Please tell us." So by hearing such words of Supreme Lord, that heavenly denizen, he replied. So actually, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that, first of all, when this demigod, he saw the Supreme Lord standing in front of him, he was stunned. Because to get a darshan of Supreme Lord is not so easy. Panthastu koti shatavatsara sampragamyo vayo rathapi manaso munipungavana. Sages are, trying to see the tip of the toe of the Lord. They're trying since so many ages, but still they are not able to see. And this Devata, this exalted demigod, he was seeing right there in front of him. So he was very, very astonished, stunned. And then, by the mercy of the Lord, he realized, he came back to his senses, and he started offering his beautiful, beautiful prayers. First of all, he offered his respects, touched his crown at the feet of the Lord, and he started speaking. So this king, he replied, what happened to him? So this Riga, he describes his whole story, how he was, such a great king, and how he became a lizard because of some, sin which he did. So he describes, he starts that, oh my Lord, I am a king known as Riga. I am son of Ikshvaku. And he tells that, actually, you must have heard, perhaps you must have heard about my name. Whenever the list of charitable kings were, recited, you must have heard my name. And, oh my Lord, what is unknown to you? You are the Supreme Lord. You know everything. Your vision is not disturbed by time. By your vision, you can see past, present, and future. But still, because you are asking, I'll just tell you about myself. It says, actually, I gave in charity as many cows as there are grains of sand on earth. As many cows as there are as there are drops of rainwater. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that actually it means that he gave unlimited number of cows in charity. And in one sense, it is true also, because it is said that if in some pious place, just like Kurukshetra, even if somebody gives one cow, it is equivalent to giving donation of 10 million cows in charity, in donation. So therefore, in one sense, it was right, whatever he was telling. And then he was telling that, he told that, oh my Lord, the cows which I gave in donation, they were not ordinary cows. They were very beautiful, fully decorated with wonderful, beautiful ornaments and garments, and they were very healthy and milk-laden cows. And their hooves were silver-plated. Their horns were, also plated with gold. And in this way, I gave so many unlimited cows in charity. And said, then after this, I would honor all the Brahmanas also who would come. I offered so much charity to all the Brahmanas, wonderful, jewelry, ornaments, cloth, gold coins, whatever, along with various other gifts I gave. Along with that, I performed so many charities, so many sacrifices. I performed so many welfare activities. So we cannot even imagine what all pious activities this king was doing. He was not an ordinary king, not an ordinary social welfare worker of today. He was doing unlimited charity, unlimited welfare work. So, we have to understand that such a caliber, such a great pious activity this king was doing. You have to keep this in the mind. And then we'll see what happened to him. Such a great charity giver, such a great welfare worker. People in the world, they are so very interested in giving charity, welfare work, thinking that they will get a higher destination either in the next life or they will get name, fame in this life. But all this is so very flickering, so very temporary, and it is very, very risky proposal to work and struggle so much to get name, fame, prestige, either in this world or in the next world. It is very, very risky proposal. Any type of fruitive activity which we do, doing yajna for some welfare activity, for getting some money, some fame, some power. First of all, if it is not done properly, it will not give us the result. And if it is done in little bit wrong way or some mistake is done, it may give a completely different result. As we can see in the case of this Vritrasur, the father of Vritrasur, Twashta, So because Vishwarup, he was killed by Indra, because Vishwarup was offering oblations on behalf of demons also. Indra became so very angry, he beheaded Vishwarup. Twashta, his father, he became so angry. He decided to do a yajna and create a demon who will kill Indra. And he started performing yajna, but as he was pronouncing some mantras, he pronounced one word in a little different meter. The word was still the same, only the meter was different. Indra Shatru. So he said Indra Shatru. So that means he wanted a creature who could kill Indra. But because he pronounced in a wrong way, a demon came out who would be killed by Indra. So that is the precarious, very, very dangerous and risky situation when we are doing all these karma kandi activities or yajnas, because first of all, they may not give the result if not done properly, or even if a little mistake is done, they may give a completely different result. So this King Riga, he was such a great welfare worker, charity giver. One day, he gave a cow in charity to a Brahmana out of many, many cows. And it so happened that one of the cow from that Brahmana's Goshala on her own came and entered the Goshala of the king again, unnoticed. And when the next Brahmana came, this king gave so many thousands of cows along with this cow who had come back, to another Brahmana. So he didn't know. There's no fault of his. Only fault was he gave that same cow to another Brahmana. In current perspective, it may seem so very far out and so very extreme, that how can such a small thing create a problem? But that was the time where all the Brahmanas, they were very, very strict in following the principles. They were not greedy. They were not after gold and cows and fame. They were attached to the principles of spiritual life, Krishna consciousness. So the Brahmana who was given this cow, he was taking this cow and all the other cows. Other Brahmana, he understood, oh, one cow is missing. So he came to the king and he said, oh, this is my cow. You have stolen my cow. So he started blaming the king. You stole her. Others said, no, you gave me this cow. Others said to the king, you gave me this cow. How can you take this back? The first Brahmana said, no, you have stolen my cow. How can you steal my cow? So this Nriga is hearing all this, I was completely bewildered because both of them, they were blaming me. I stole that cow, and they're telling that you gave this cow to me, which was, so this is my cow. Being in such a great dilemma, this King Riga, he said, "Oh Brahmanas, please don't be angry. I will give both of you 1 lakh cows in replacement. Please give this cow back to me, and I'll give both of you 1 lakh cows. Please be merciful. If you will not show mercy, I will go to hell." Because if Brahmanas are offended, then there is a hellish destination waiting. So if somebody of today's age, he hears this story, he may think, oh, how you know mean these Brahmanas were. They could have been happy and satisfied by taking 1 lakh other cows, and they were of the same quality. But we have to understand, these Brahmanas, they were very, very strict and focused about the scriptural rules and regulations. They were concerned that this king, if he is not following the principles, then he will be going to hellish destinations. And how can we accept such a cow? So they were not greedy for cows, because although he agreed, king agreed to give 1 lakh cows, both of them said no. They said, I don't want any exchange for this cow. One of the Brahmanas said, I don't want any exchange. Other said, I don't even want 1 lakh cows more. I'm going. Both of them left without taking cows. So it was not that they were greedy, that's why they didn't take the cow, and one cow was becoming less, that's why they became angry. No. It was a question of following the scriptural rules and regulations. They were concerned that if this person has taken the cow, he will become sinful. He'll have to go to hell. How can he do this? And if this king is doing this, the citizens may also do the same thing. So they were concerned with the overall society. So in due course of time, so incident was over, and then due course of time, this king became old, and after he left his body, after he died, Yamdutas, they came and they very respectfully took him to Yamraj. And Yamraj, he said, oh my dear king, actually there is no end to your piety. You have done so many pious activities that there is an endless stay reserved for you in heavenly planets. But you have done some sin also. Which of the two you would like to experience first? The result of your sins or those of your piety? He told that your pious acts are unlimited and you will be staying in heaven for a long time. Generally, so it is a general mentality. People, they think, if there is little sin, let me suffer that first, and then uske baad to aaram hi aaram, maza hi maza hai, So King Riga, he said, let me suffer for my sinful reactions first. So as soon as he said that, Yamraj said, okay, then you fall. He saw himself falling, and as he was falling down, he saw himself being transformed into a lizard. And therefore, the King Riga, he continued, O Keshava, O Supreme Lord, as your servant, I was so very devoted to Brahmanas. I was so very generous to them. And I always hankered for your audience. And therefore, even till now, I have never forgotten. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives a very interesting insight to this pastime. Actually, As King Riga, he would give so much charity, so many brahmanas they would come, and so many other people they would come to ask for some help. One day, a devotee of the Lord came, and he wanted to build a temple for his deities. He wanted to get some scriptures like Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So Chakravarti Thakur writes in the purport some of the scriptures he wanted. And this King Riga, he helped him to get all these requirements done. As a result, this Brahmana, this devotee, he was so very pleased with Riga. He said, let you get the audience of the Supreme Lord sometime in future. He blessed the king. That is the power of blessings of devotee. Just one act he did. He just helped this devotee build a temple. He was distributing, giving, and charities to so many of the Brahmanas every day. But this one act of helping a devotee, serving a devotee, that became his eternal savior. He got the darshan of the Supreme Lord, and because this Brahmana, this devotee, he told that may you get the darshan of the Lord. Since then on, he started meditating. Oh, I will get darshan of the Lord. He was always remembering that. He never forgot. And that's what he's telling now. That I always wanted to have your darshan. That happens by the mercy of the Lord's devotee. So devotees are very, very crucial in the life of a sadhaka. Actually, what is, and we'll see that actually this King Riga, he developed feelings of devotion. He became a devotee. What is the cause for bhakti? Is pious activity cause for bhakti? We can see in this case of Riga, he was performing such an intense, huge pious activity, giving in charity to so many brahmanas, cows. But that didn't help him become a devotee. Then what is the cause of bhakti? If bhakti is dependent on pious activities, if pious activity is the cause of bhakti, that means bhakti is dependent on pious activity, which is not the case. Bhakti is pure, independent. Then is Supreme Lord's mercy the cause of bhakti? If that is the case, then why Supreme Lord is not giving mercy to everyone? That means he is partial, but he is not partial. Then what is the cause of bhakti? So then it is described that the bhakti which is there in the heart of a devotee is the cause of bhakti. Bhaktya sanjayate bhakti. Only the devotion which is there in the heart of a devotee is transplanted into another devotee's heart. It is described that if the heart is fertile, if the heart is grateful, then immediately the mercy of the devotees can plant that seed of devotion, Bhakti Lata Bij, and immediately it can grow into a full-blown tree with flowers and fruits. As we can see in the example of Raghunath Das Goswami. Ya sarvalokaik manobhiruchya saubhagya bhuka chidakrishtapachya tatrayamaropana kalam taprema shakhi phalvan tulya. So Raghunath Das Goswami, his heart was so fertile that as soon as the seed of bhakti was sown by Haridas Thakur, immediately it became a full-blown tree. Saubhagya bhuk kachita krishtapachya. There was no need to even plow the field. Tatrayam aropan atulya kalam. As soon as the seed was sown, taprem shakhi phalvan. A full-blown tree with all the fruits and flowers appeared. So just one little contact with a devotee became the eternal savior for Nriga. So Nriga, as now after telling the history, now he's offering obeisances. And he's offering his beautiful, beautiful prayers. He rejoices at his good fortune. What a good fortune I have received now. Sattvam katham mama vibho akshipatha paratma Yogeshwara Shruti Drishamalaridha Vibhyah Sakshadadhokshajauru Vyasanandha Buddhe Syan Menudrasya Ihayasya Bhavapavargaha. So he's telling, O my Lord, O Almighty One, O Paratma, O Supreme Soul of all the souls, how is it that today I am able to see you? Katham mama akshipataha vibho, oh my Lord, how is it that I am able to see you today? You are so very rare. Yogeshwara Shruti Drishamal. Are even the great mystics, sages, they are meditating since millions of lives. They are also not able to see you. And even if they see only in their hearts in meditation. How is it that I am able to see you today personally standing in front? Sakshadadokshajauru Vyasananda Buddhe. Oh my Lord, oh transcendental Lord, how are you visible in front of me? My intelligence, although it is so very bewildered, I am always absorbed in the material entanglement of this world. So many tribulations are going on. How is it that I have seen you today, oh my Lord? And I know that only one who has finished his material life can see you. Only one who is free from the entanglement of material world can see you. Just like when Lord appeared in front of Narad Muni, small boy, in his heart also, only in his heart he appeared, not in front. And that too for a short time, and he disappeared. And then small boy Narad, he was trying his best to see the Lord again, and the Lord spoke. Oh Narada, you will not be able to see me in this life again because of two reasons. You are not sufficiently pure, and I want to increase your hankering. So King Riga, he understands, he knows that to see the Lord is not so easy. The great sages, mystics, they are trying. They are able to see only in their heart. Unless one is free from the entanglement, attachment, they cannot see. How is it that I am able to see you? So even in the body of a lizard, King Driga could remember his past life. And now he is getting a chance to see the Supreme Lord. All this is special mercy of the Lord. Because it is described that this King Riga, he was not doing active devotional service by hearing and chanting. How he became devotee? Only by mercy of the Lord. That is the only reason by which he got darshan of the Lord. Just like we know in the story of Nal Kuvar and Manigriv also, when Lord appeared in front of them as a small child, they were Nal Kuvar and Manigriv, and they became Yamalarjun trees. Krishna came and brought those trees down, and Nal Kuvar, Manigriv, they came out. And Lord told them, they started offering beautiful prayers. And Lord told them, look, I have nothing to do with you. You know why I came in front of you, why I am giving you darshan? Mera devotee ne bola, kya kare? I am dependent on my devotees. Devarshi me priyatamau yadimau dhanatatmajo tattatha sadayishyami yadgitam tanmahamana. Are my devotee Narad Muni, he gave you words to you. What can I do? I could not do anything. Otherwise, I have nothing to do with any of you. Only by the mercy of the devotees, somebody can get the chance to practice bhakti. कौन भाग्य कारो संसार शयोन्मुख होए, साधु संग बिना कृष्ण रति उपजय. Only by mercy of devotees one can develop attachment for Krishna. There are various types of sukriti: bhogonmukhi sukriti, mokshonmukhi sukriti, and bhakti unmukhi sukriti. Bhogonmukhi means if somebody does lots of charity, social welfare work, just like this king Riga was doing. He had in his reserve such a huge enjoyment of heavenly planets. Bhogonmukhi. Do pious work, enjoyment. Somebody practices Jnana Yoga, he is more inclined to practice the same thing again and he gets Mokshonmukhi Sukriti. But if somebody serves a devotee unknowingly, or if a devotee shows mercy, then one can get a chance to come to Krishna consciousness. That is called Bhakti Unmukhi Sukriti. So this King Riga, he was astonished that how is it that I am getting your darshan, O my Lord? And then, because now he was in front of the Lord, he could understand that Lord is pleased only by chanting the names. So he started doing Nam Sankirtan. Deva Deva Jagannatha Govinda Purushottama Narayana Rishikesha Punya Shloka Achyutavyaya. So many names he's telling. Deva Deva Jagannatha Govinda Purushottam Narayana Rishikesha Punya Shloka Avyaya. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is, I think, why he's telling all these names. It has a purpose. So he's telling you are Deva Deva. You are the God even of the gods. You are Jagannath. You are the master of the universe. So please be my master also. Now he has become a devotee because he is getting darshan of the Lord. So he's telling you are Jagannath. You are master of the universe. Become my master also. You are Govinda. Please make me your property with the same merciful glance you used to enchant the cows. Your Govinda, you give pleasure to the cows. Now please show mercy, you glance on me and make me also your property. That's why he's taking the name Govinda. And he's telling Purushottama. Lord may say, how can I do this? Because you are Purushottama. You are the supreme form. You can do anything. And then you are Narayan also. You are the foundation of all living activity, all living entities. So therefore, please, although I am a bad living entity, please make my foundation also strong. Although I have done so many sinful activities, but please make me strong in Krishna consciousness. Andhasya merita vivek mahadhanasya chaurai prabho balibhirindriya namadheyah मोहान्धकूप कुहरे विनिपातितस्य देवेश देहि कृपणस्य करावलंबम. So in Mukundmala Sutra, Kulashekar Maharaj is praying, oh my Lord, because my sense of discrimination is stolen by the thieves of senses, I have fallen this deep dark well of material life. Please take me out. Please place me at your lotus feet. Give me your devotional service. So therefore, that is what Niga is praying. You are Narayan. Please make my foundation also strong. You are Rishikesha. Please make my senses your own. That means engage my senses in your service. You are Achyuta. Please never be lost to my mind. You are Achyuta. You are Punya Shloka. You are famous as the deliverer of all the kings. Please deliver me also. And you are Avyaya. You are never destroyed. So therefore, please always stay in my mind. My remembrance of you should never get destroyed. So he starts, calling all these beautiful, beautiful names because he has developed such faith in bhakti just by having darshan of the Lord. And he understood that Lord is pleased only by hearing and chanting. So he started chanting Nam Kirtan, various types of Kirtan. In that, Nam Kirtan is the best. So therefore, he is chanting the names of the Lord. That's what we do. This Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Nama Kirtan, chanting the names of the Lord always. Anujani himam Krishna yantam devagatim prabho yatra kvapi satascheto bhuyan me tvatpadaspadam. So he's telling, oh my Lord, now please, allow me to go back. Allow me to go to my heavenly abode. Anujanihi, please give your permission. Devagatam, I want to go back to my abode, heavenly planet, but please give me one benediction. Bhuyat me, wherever, yatra kwapi, wherever I live, I should always remember your lotus feet. That is the pure devotional prayer which this King Riga is making. Wherever I live, oh my Lord, I am only interested in serving your lotus feet. My mind should be fixed on your lotus feet. Nayatra Vaikunta Katha Sudhapaga Nasadavo Bhagavata Sadashraya Nayatra Yagyesh Makha Mahotsaya Suresh Lokopina Vaishasebhyatam. A devotee is not interested in any place where there is no Krishna Katha going on. Where there is no association of devotees. No festivals are celebrated in the glorification of the Lord. Devotee is not interested, even if it is heaven. So he's praying, oh my Lord, please show mercy. Wherever I go, I should never forget you. You may always stay in my mind. So he continues, I offer my repeated obeisances unto you, O my Lord. You are the supreme source of all beings, son of Vasudev. You are the supreme absolute truth. After saying this, he circumambulated the Lord. He touched his crown at the feet of the Lord and departed. A celestial airplane came and he went back to the heavenly planets. As he was going, Krishna, he gave his permission to leave by saying, after enjoying in the heavenly planets, you will come to me. That is such a wonderful assurance which Krishna is giving to Nriga. You will not lose anything because now you have become my devotee. You will enjoy also and you will come to me also. This mood of the Lord is there always. We see in the case of Prahlad Maharaj also. You enjoy for so many millions of years and then you come back to me. Always he gives such benedictions to all his devotees. You enjoy also and you come to me also because he knows that my devotee will not get bewildered and confused and entangled by sense gratification. That is the wonderful thing about a devotee. Otherwise, even if somebody goes to a forest because he wants to be free from entanglement, he will not be able to do it. Because he goes with 6 wives, 5 senses and the mind. He does not go alone. But a devotee, although staying in the family, because he is absorbed in Krishna, he will not get entangled. So then after this Devata, he departed Nriga, and now Krishna is going to give such strong instructions about service to Brahmanas. How Brahmanas are very, very important. So he started speaking to all his associates. So he says, you can just see how indigestible the property of a Brahmana is. This, even if somebody enjoys slightly the property of a Brahmana, even if somebody is more powerful and strong than fire, he will be destroyed. What to speak of a king? So even if somebody is very powerful by the mystic yoga and the all the austerity, if one tries to enjoy the property of a brahmana, stolen property, he is destroyed. Naham halahalam manye visham manya pratikriya brahmaswam hi visham proktam nasya pratividhir bhuvi. Is telling, I do not consider halahal to be a real poison. Naham halahalam manye. Is telling, I do not consider halahal to be real poison because yasya pratikriya, there is an antidote for this. Even if you drink a poison, there is an antidote. Halahal ke liye bhi ek antidote available hai. But if somebody steals the property of a brahmana, there is no antidote anywhere in this entire universe. Shiva could digest poison halahal. That means antidote is available for halahal. But there is no antidote available for one, the sin which is committed by stealing the property of a brahmana. It actually, the poison kills only one person who ingests, who takes that poison. Only one person will be destroyed, right? And ordinary fire may be extinguished by water, but the fire which is generated by kindling the wood of brahmana's property, if somebody steals the property of a brahmana, the fire which is generated by that, it cannot be extinguished. It burns the entire family of that thief. In fact, he says, not only one generation, and before that it is actually the fire, it is like the fire which is burning in the cavity of a tree. Ordinary fire can be extinguished by the rains, but the fire which arises by stealing the property of a brahmana, it is like a fire which is burning in the cavity of a tree. Even if there is a rain for many years, still that rainfall will not extinguish the fire. It will burn the root. Ordinary fire may burn the root, burn the tree, but the root will be there intact. But the fire which is burning in the cavity burns the root also. There is no escape. Entire family is completely destroyed. He says, if one takes the property of a brahmana and enjoys it without permission, then 3 generations will be destroyed. But if somebody takes by force, then 21 generations will be destroyed. Just like Narasimhadev told to Prahlad, your 21 generations will be delivered. God is telling, if somebody takes by force and steals the property of a brahmana, 21 generations will be destroyed. That is the grave, that is the intense situation, intense result which is there for a person who commits offense and steals the property of a brahmana. He says, but kings who are blinded by the pride and the opulence, they do not understand all this, and they try to they try and hanker to enjoy the property of brahmana, not considering that hell is waiting for them. They will be going to hellish situations. And it is described that if a brahmana becomes sad and he cries tears, as many as particles of dust which are touched by the tears of a brahmana, for that many years the entire family of the king along with the king will be burning in the Kumbhi Pak hell. So such a serious thing. Then he says, Swadattam paradattam va brahma vrittim harechayah Shashti Varsha Sahasrani Visthayam Jayate Krimi. Very, very powerful, strong words. Such an intense punishment. He says, if somebody steals the property of a Brahmana, whoever he may be, he will have to take birth as a worm in the stool for 60,000 years. Not so, not, it is not a joke. Krishna is very, very strict when it comes to the dealing with Brahmanas. As we can see in the case of four Kumaras also, because they offended Jai Vijay, they were Brahmanas. The Lord is telling, I am getting all my strength by the mercy of Brahmanas. Although Lord is just out of his humility, he's saying like that. But that is what he feels for the Brahmanas. And that's what he's telling here. Anybody who is lusting after the property of a Brahmana, he'll become short-lived. He'll be defeated. He will take birth as snake in the next life. Somebody may say, Are, if somebody does wrong to a Brahmana, he'll suffer. What if a Brahmana takes my property? If a Brahmana does something wrong, he hates me, then what should I do? So then Krishna tells, Vipram kritagasam api naiva druhyat mamakaha ghantam bahu shapantam va namaskuruta nityashah. He's telling, even if Vipram kritagasam api, even if a Brahmana has done something sinful, oh my dear followers, naiva druhyat. You should never ever speak harshly with a Brahmana. Even if somebody has done sinful, please do not speak harshly. And even if he attacks you physically, Grantam Bahu Shapantam Va, even if he curses you, still you should never retaliate. Continue to offer obeisances, as we can see in life of so many devotees. Parikshit Maharaj, cursed by Shringi to die, still he didn't do anything. The four Kumara, the Jai Vijay, when they were cursed by four Kumaras, they didn't do anything. They said, oh, we deserve it. Please forgive us. So that's how serious the offense to a Brahmana is. And then Lord continues that just as I bow down to Brahmanas, all of you are my followers, you should also follow what I am doing. Otherwise, I will personally punish that person. When a Brahmana's property is stolen, even unknowingly, if the Brahmana's property is stolen, it will lead to his fall down, as in the case of Nriga. So therefore, one has to be really careful what to speak of a person who does it, consciously. After this, all these instructions, Krishna, he departed along with all his associates. He went back to his palace. So therefore, this is a very, very interesting and so many lessons we can learn from this pastime. We can just see that if Krishna is respecting and treating Brahmanas with such respect, how much careful we should be when we deal with the devotees. Devotees are much, much higher than Brahmanas. Brahmananam sahasrebhya satrayaji vishishyate satrayaji sahasrebhya sarva vedanta parga sarva vedanta vitkotya vishnu bhakta vishishyate vaishnavanam sahasrebhya ekanteko vishishyate. It is described, out of thousands of Brahmanas who can perform Brahmananam sahasrebhya, out of thousands of Brahmanas, the one who can perform sacrifice is the best. Out of thousands who can perform the sacrifice, one who knows the Vedanta is the best. Out of thousands, those who know Vedanta, devotee of Vishnu is the best. And out of thousands of devotee of Vishnu, the devotee of Krishna is the supreme. So how much we should be careful when we are dealing with the devotees of the Lord. Because we see in the pastime of Durvasa Muni that Krishna, Lord Vishnu, he didn't side with Durvasa Muni. He told that actually I cannot do anything for you. You have to go and take shelter of my devotee because my devotees have given everything for me. Aham bhakt paradhino nahi swatantra iva dvija sadhubir grastridayam bhaktair bhakta jana priya. I have given everything for my devotee. They have given everything for me. So therefore, I have given everything for my devotees. I can do anything for my devotees. I am conquered. I am dependent on my devotees. So therefore, devotees, they play a very, very crucial role. And they are always ready to help everyone. How much we should be careful not to offend them, not to criticize them. Because only by the mercy of the devotees one can get Krishna. Krishna said, Tomara Krishna dite para, Tomara Shakti ache. Ami to Kangal Krishna Krishna boli dhai tava pache pache. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling, oh, Krishna is yours. Oh, Vaishnava Thakur, you can give Krishna to me, please show mercy. So devotees, Viraj Goswami says, they are like the clouds. These clouds are full of the nectar of Krishna Katha. And they are showering this nectar all over the world. Ei amrita nukshan sadhu mahanta meghagan vishwadhyane kori barishan tate phale amrit phal bhakta khaye nirantar tate sheshe jiye tribhuvan jiye jagajan. So he's telling, sadhu mahant, they are the clouds. They are showering this nectar of Krishna Leela all over the world. Vishwadhyane kori bhareshan. And then when this nectar of Krishna Leela is showered, then there is a phal. There is a tree which comes, and on that there is a phal. Tate phale amrit phal. The amrit of Krishna Leela sprouts in the heart of the devotees, hearts of people. Bhakta khaye nirantar, and all the devotees are tasting this fruit. And then, whatever is remaining, they are satisfied, then they are distributing also. That's the mercy of the devotees of the Lord. They are so very crucial for all of us. So if the Brahmanas are given such respect, how much we should be careful in respecting our devotees, not offending them. Devotee, if we commit offense, it is like a vajralep. Ordinary pap is dhulilep. You can immediately, do atonement and get free of that. But if you offend a devotee, you may lose the chance to practice bhakti. So that's how we should be very, very careful when we are dealing with devotees, because they are the only one who can give us Krishna. So these are the various wonderful instructions which Krishna is giving through this pastime. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Anybody has any questions? The meaning of Achyuta is one who never falls down. So he's telling that, please show mercy so that I can also, my mind may also be fixed on you. You may not come out of my mind. That is the meaning of Achyuta. Okay, any other questions anybody has? Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.